Hi, I'm Sam Sterling and I play Ichipuktan Papakui, and this is what you missed in Season 3, Episode 1 of Edge of Legend. Our adventurers have been hard at work in the 6 months that they were away. Ilona has been researching all she can about Ramalgaste, the so-called prophecy that predicts the end of the world, which leads her to a small, forgotten box in the Reliquary of Ore. Upon opening this box, she discovers an ancient text, the Gospel of Redalga, the Wisdom of Madness. Somehow she manages to keep her mind from falling into chaos as she scans the pages, finally landing on a strange symbol of 9 tentacles forming a smiling face, and furthermore, a sinister depiction of the full moon with the same mind-shattering grin. Ilona swipes the book into her bag of holding, sensing that it might be the key to preventing it all. But then her mentor, Zara Lior, re-enters the scene and presents a note from Isuo. Their all-knowing friend is calling the party back together for the pre-planned pageant in Dragon's Grave, where there'll be much celebration and a chance for them to finally reunite. Ichi has spent her days looking for the leader of the non-caffeine compliance cause and has started referring to herself as the Dark Whisper in the Shadows. She has rallied others to aid her in catching the despicable Dolly Taunton, leader of the coffee-hating group, which is exactly why one of her underlings busts through her doors to deliver terrible news. It has been discovered that Dolly is gaining traction in the Adelphon Senate and wants to add sugar, alcohol, and more to her banned list. This will not stand, but before Ichi can pursue further, she receives her letter from Isuo and promptly heads to Dragon's Grave. Shionibus has been doing her best to hunt and track down the remaining demons on her list that she was given by her aunt, the current reigning queen of Nubia. These past few months, she stalked her prey, known as the One Who Smiles. With one fell swoop, she fells the demon, but as she's wiping the blood from her arrows, a familiar form emerges from the shadows. It's her former companion, Larian Voss, there to provide the letter from Isuo. Shionibus, having completely forgotten about the affair, denies that she will attend, but a very well-timed call from Ilona convinces her to begrudgingly go. Dragon has spent his months diligently working alongside his wife and son in Spygar, although he has failed to mention he is her newly reincarnated husband and has found it necessary to go by the name of Troy. This completely backfires when the note from Isuo arrives, addressed to Dragon, and his wife bursts into tears. When Dragon approaches her away from his son, she informs him of the contents of the letter, and Dragon finally reveals what has happened to him and the nature of his true identity. Needless to say, his wife is incensed at this discovery and insists he take her and the boy with him to Dragon's Grave so they can meet his friends and confirm he's telling the truth. Lothier has been studying with the Underground Order of Mud Druids in Brack and has progressed so much that he has been able to conjure a little mud elemental familiar named Dorora. During his research, he comes upon the legend of the Great Walkabout, which mentions where another form of druidic practice comes from. But as he discovers this, a knock comes rapping at the door, and one of his neighbors presents him with the invite from Isuo. Back at Dragon's Grave, everyone reunites. There is much catching up and introductions to be had. Dragon is pleased to confirm with his wife that he was indeed saving the world with this group of adventurers, and she forgives him. The party is similarly getting acquainted with Dorora when Tobias walks through the door. Their formerly doomed friend looks different, healthier, happier, and lighter. They all share hugs before assuming their positions in the pageant, and joyful chaos ensues. The pageant comes and goes, with their dear friend Hera taking the crown, also fulfilling the pageant's original purpose of getting Tobias and Hera back together. But before too much rejoicing is had, the party is approached by Morel. Morel's intensity is off-putting to some of the members of the party, but he informs them of a need to talk, and they all enter a small room with Morel's sister Betrain and a leader of the rebellion in Acadia, Hamas. Amongst their familiar faces, there are also a slew of Acadian soldiers in the room, putting Lothier understandably on edge. And that's when Morel drops the reason why he called them all here today. He plans to overthrow his father, the King of Acadia. Without hesitation, Dragon immediately agrees to help Morel with anything he needs, and Lothier also jumps at the opportunity to overthrow the bloodthirsty tyrant. But the rest of the party remains silent. Morel explains that ever since his father has taken the throne, he has been prone to episodes, some lasting weeks or months at a time. When he is in these episodes, he isolates himself from the world, and this is when Morel wants to strike. He has been informed that his father recently entered a particularly bad episode and theorizes it will last for about a month. Upon hearing this, Ilona asks for some time to think it all over, which leaves Dragon and Lothier confused, but Morel agrees. The party promptly leaves the city, and Lothier erects a tiny hut where they will discuss what they are going to do. And Sionibus won't do it. She shocks Dragon and Lothier with her adamancy, but she is a princess of a foreign nation, and her decisions actively reflect upon her people. The implications of her doing a shadow mission could cause an outright conflict between Nubia and Acadia that is not a risk she's willing to take. In spite of Dragon and Lothier's attempts to reason, she stands firm in her decision, and the party returns to Morel with their verdict. Sionibus informs Morel of her inability to participate, and while the prince is disappointed, he understands. Dragon, Lothier, and Ichi all agree to help. However, when Morel finally asks Ilona what she thinks, she denies her aid. Morel and Ilona have been no contact for months, much to the surprise of the other party members, and when Dragon hears about Ilona's decision, he is shocked beyond belief. Ilona leaves the room and Dragon chases after her, enraged and hurt by her decision. She explains her unease with the situation and desire to know more before they jump into things. She also does not want to leave Sionibus alone, but Dragon feels betrayed by this decision, knowing he has more to lose than ever with just having reconnected with his family, and he cannot fathom how overthrowing an overpowered dictator could be anything but a benefit. He tells her he can't respect her if she doesn't go, and runs back to the rest of the group in tears. Ichi attempts to console Dragon when he re-enters the room, and Lothier chides him for his outburst at Ilona, but what's been said has been said, and the remaining 3 party members leave at dawn. But that's not all. Away from the party, in a dark room in the Akkadian palace, the slouched form of King Nimrod XIV is splayed about on his throne, sleep-deprived, an empty husk. When creeping from around the lofty chair emerges long white fingers and the maddening visage of a smiling full moon. And that's what you need to know from the premiere of Season 3 of Edge of Legend. Make sure to tune in Wednesdays 8 p.m. PST to Nat20 Productions' official channel on Twitch to catch the newest episodes of Edge of Legend as they happen. We look forward to seeing you in the chat as you become legends beside us. Thanks for watching!